Greetings, Commander, and welcome to the breach. Today we see me in my Tier 6 British cruiser, the Leander, which I acquired on the Christmas convoy. Before that, I'd only worked my way up to the Danae, which I'm still working my way through, but I've put a little bit more time into the Leander than the Danae. My captain on the Leander only has 2 skills at the moment. I don't have superintendent yet, so I'm only running with 2 smokes and 2 heals. I don't have a great many games played in the Leander at the moment, mainly due to the fact that I've been working through the American cruisers and gaining my skills that way, whereas the Leander has a different play style. For example, the Cleveland is a great ship for burning battleships down with its HE. It's got a nice high arc fire to shoot over the top of islands, allowing you to shoot from cover. Whereas the Leander works a little bit more like a destroyer with using a smoke screen, and it doesn't come with any H, so all your damage is done with AP and you can't rely on any fire damage. But you do have torpedoes, unlike the American cruiser. And here you see me working over a Leander, using the American skill of hiding behind an island and lobbing the shells over. The Leander is giving me a broadside target, so I'm going to be doing the maximum amount of damage, and I'm just hoping for a citadel. Fortunately, my range is probably too great for me to have any chance of getting a citadel, but continuous fire from all my guns is doing serious amounts of damage to the Leander. And you can see his torpedoes coming in towards me at the moment. I'm just speeding up to avoid them and going to continue piling on the hurt as that Leander comes around the islands. So firing away and getting a good angle on that Leander. Though I've put a significant amount of hurt onto the Leander, I don't press the attack. I've decided that I'm going to return to A and make sure we cap it by supporting the destroyer, who's also my division mate H. So turn around, disengage from the Leander. The Leander is not going to last long. Well, it's just died there. And I'm going to head back and take on the battleships and cruisers that are hiding way at the back, because their Leander left them to do a solo hero rush for B, which was probably not the best thing he could have done to help support his team. The only upgrade I've got so far on my Leander is the range mod, which takes the range from 12 kilometers, which is woefully inadequate at this level, up to 13.2 kilometers, which is a little bit more useful. I've still got the A hull with 24,500 hit points. When I upgrade to the B hull, I'll get 28,700. My torps are still only 6 kilometer range, but they will be upgraded to an 8 kilometer range with a negligible damage reduction. The opposition has a Congo, a Konig and an Omaha, facing against an Omaha, a Konig, a Mutsu, a Leander and a Farragut. The Farragut will be heading off towards B to help cap at that point, and the Mutsu is going to spend a bit of time DC'd. I've now moved into a position where I'm going to be using my smoke screen, which is obviously the bread and butter of what the Leander does, and I'm also close to the island, so I'm going to be using the island as well once my smoke screen has dissipated, to hide from the enemy battleships. So here I turn broadside on, slow down and pop my smoke before I start opening fire. The last thing I want is somebody to get a bearing on me and blind fire into the smoke, catch me broadside on and citadel, which has happened a number of times. So you soon learn that unless it's an emergency, you don't open fire until after your smoke has been deployed. I make the assumption here that the Congo will cut back in towards the cap circle and stay fairly close to his teammates. Unfortunately, he doesn't. He steams down the flank, separating himself. which eventually means that I can no longer bring all my guns to bear. Eventually the back two turrets will no longer be able to fire, and I basically will have halved my firepower. With hindsight, I could have angled my ship better, but at the time I was making a decision based on what I would probably do, and what I think most enemies would have done would have been to stick with the other battleship in his team. I'm doing consistent damage to the Congo at the moment, and I've got a warm fuzzy feeling inside because I think I'm helping the battleship behind me. Little do I know that he's DC'd at the moment and not actually firing his guns, which is a little disappointing. But maybe if he DC'd further away and not within my smoke cover, he might have been focused fires and been heavily damaged. So there's always that on the plus side. Got rid of the Congo, which is nice. We just have the Omaha and the Konig left. I'm now going to utilise the island as cover and my teammates for spotting and proceed to damage the Konig. Firing and manoeuvring, and I think they are the only shots fired at me all match.
Our victory is in sight. I need help urgently.
Here you see me slowing down and manoeuvring to keep the island between me and the enemy ships. My smoke has come off cooldown, but at the moment I don't need to use it because I'm using the island, so I've always got it in reserve. When you only have 2 smoke screens, you have to use them wisely, and now is definitely not the time to burn through my last smoke. Poor Omaha. I'm very lucky the Omaha decides not to fire upon me, which he probably should have done to get damage, which means more XP. But I'm going to be able to fire on him unhindered and get some citadels. If I do get too close, I need to be aware that he does have torpedoes, which I've forgotten a few times in the past and nearly paid the price for that. Kill secured.
Our victory is in sight.
Might as well get the XP for the plane as well, seeing as I'm right next to him. Well, that's the game, other than a little bit more salting chat. A win, 1 kill, good amount of damage, and I avoided the one broadside of fire from a battleship. Normally, when people see a Leander, they stop what they're doing and decide to shoot you instead. It's similar when people spot a destroyer. They stop what they're doing to start shooting you. So it's nice having a match where I didn't have the normal amount of love shown for a Leander. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the other side.